started a little rusty, and just kind of felt really good at half, to be very honest, with Terrence and Matt. I think one field goal between them, and only down 4. And then to be down 15-4 on the glass to start the game, that was disappointing because we spent a lot of time talking about their rebounding. They need that rebounding, and we weren't very effective doing that. But I thought the last 8 minutes we were really good. We got our way back into the game. We found a little run, came from our bench. Sincere hit a 3 to kind of crack the seal. And then very seldom in this league do you have a 19-0 run and hold a team without one for 11 minutes. I thought our defense was terrific. I thought our shot blocking impacted the game at the rim. I thought that Ty Rogers, Sincere, that group, we did it with a lot of freshmen on the floor. It was our small lineup. Coleman Hawkins, Coleman's guarding everybody from Mulcahy to Cliff today. So I thought that group was outstanding, and it's a sign of a good team. And then the second half we got TJ going, we got Matthew going. It was nice to see Luke Goody out there, kind of break the seal for him. Playing, he's going to be huge for us down the stretch, and I thought Dane in the first half was just absolutely not just scoring the basketball, but the fact that they had to play 8 minutes without Cliff because he picked up 2 fouls guarding him was very impactful in the game. So all in all, really good day. Did what we needed to do here at home and beat a really good Rutgers team.
Start with Jeremy.
Brady mentioned the freshmen, Ty, Sincere, even Jaden. Defensively, what are they giving you right now, and how rare is that for a trio of freshmen?
Very. What they're doing is, and Jaden didn't have one of his better days offensively, but Jaden was like glued to Spencer, and I thought that was a big part of the first half as well, as not letting Spencer get going. But they're becoming assignment sound. They're playing really hard. We know they're athletic, they're quick twitch, they're versatile, but they're becoming assignment sound, and they're understanding a scouting report and not making a ton of mistakes. I thought we forced Rutgers into basically a middle ball screen game. It was just 2-on-2, where Spencer wasn't even a part of the second half for the most part. And all they did was high ball screen, and that to me is playing into our hands. And we forced a lot of hard shots and a lot of contested shots. I felt great. McConnell took 10 in the first half. I felt really good about that. He made a few, but that's okay.
Brad.
Seems like when you guys go well offensively, Coleman Hawkins is a big part of that, whether it's passing, facilitating, or scoring. And when it doesn't go well, usually he's kind of not involved. How do you get him involved from the jump?
Damn, Brad, you asked the hard questions. I don't know. I thought he got a couple of easy ones to get going. We need Coleman shooting the basketball. We need Coleman in an aggressive mode on the offensive side. And I say that, and it's an aggressive, but you put the hyphen after it's safe. After it, and you don't want him overdoing too much, but I thought he turned down a couple today that I want him to take. But again, tonight he let it come to him. There was nothing that was hard about it for him. He was aggressive, he looked for it, and he got a couple on the offensive glass, he got a couple jump hooks, he hit a fadeaway in the paint. And those are looks that Coleman makes. And then he gets his catch and shoot threes. And he's that Coleman Hawkins is an elite player.
A little bit of a chess match with lineups. What did you see from the flow of the game when you went small, and how do you think that group impacted the game?
No, they won the game for us. Small won the game. I think it was the 19-0 run with mostly Cliff and Dane out. Now, that's the catch-22 of being a coach. How long do you let it run? And I let it run a long, long time. And before I made a substitution, we had TJ on the bench for a good bit. Ty was grabbing every rebound. That's what I think makes us really good now, is those freshmen are growing up, and what we may lack offensively sometimes, we pick up on the defensive side. So I thought it was a huge part of the game today.
Coach, when you put up
Scott.
Back to Coleman, he came up here and was talking about maybe the realization that it takes him until maybe the second or third media to really get involved, especially offensively. I just wasn't may say about his approach, and how has that maybe changed in the time that you've known him?
Yeah, that was Io. Io did that a lot. Io was patient, picked his spots, knew when it was there. As a freshman, Io was trying to score every time he touched it, was in hyper mode all the time. Coleman's just kind of letting it flow. He figures it's a long game. He knows his opportunities are going to be there. He knows he's going to play minutes, and so he's very, very patient with his approach. And we ran some stuff to try to get Matt some opportunities early. Jaden a couple opportunities, but he just kind of bides his time. And then it's put him in situations where there's some pick and pops and based on some coverages and a couple post-ups, and he was really effective today. He took advantage of them.
Kid.
Coach, when you were up by 9 or 10, there was a stretch where there was some unforced turnovers, the lob passes, and they just didn't convert. How do you manage between letting the kids be themselves and knowing and understanding time and situation?
Yeah, that's where we got to grow. I mean, that was the first half of the Iowa game, and it's like I called Sincere over and I said, when was the last time we completed a lob? I said, you weren't here. And I said, it was with Kofi and Omar last year. We haven't completed a lob all year. So why are we throwing them? And just understand, not that Matt can't go get one, he can, but, that's youth and their exuberance. That Coleman made a really quick one. It went through Ty's hands, and we had a first cutter layup. I'm okay with that turnover, because I really want guys to look for layups, but again, it was, I would rather him be aggressive than passive. And now we got to be able to put and think through the time and score deal. But it didn't hurt us today, but it sure did it last Saturday.
Right.
Brad, going into that first media timeout, it looked like you were talking to the guys about getting those defensive rebounds. And you mentioned Ty did a really good job on boards. Talk to us about how he kind of changed the game for you guys today.
Yeah, when I need rebounds, I go straight to him. Nobody else. Get in. I mean, he dominates our practices every day. He's been dominant on the season with our rebounding. He's a guy that has an uncanny knack for finding the basketball, and he's not afraid. If you'll notice, most of his rebounds come above the rim, and there's an art to that. And I love what he's doing. Gosh darn it, I love what he's doing. And it's all we talked about for 2 days, so I wasn't very happy with the fact that we needed to keep them off the offensive glass, and they had 4 or 5 in the first 4 minutes.
Coach Amore is thought to be one of the better bigs in this league. How did you see Dane approach that matchup, and what does his performance say about kind of where he stacks up?
The good thing is, Derek, he played against him before. So, so many of these kids play against each other on the circuit, and they know each other. And Dane was really confident. I mean, he was a shooter around there. He can't guard me. He can't guard me. He knows he can't guard me. And, I love that. And so there's no fear there. There's no fear with Dane. And the one thing Dane Deja has now is a lot of confidence. And he's very confident. And so he knows he's not. And if he gets one-on-one coverage, Dane is a handful. And Cliff's an elite defender. I think he got one of them. But Dane got it back. So two good centers going at it, and 2 bigs. And I'm really proud of Dane. Dane's getting better every single day.
First time this season, no minutes for RJ. What went behind that decision?
Yeah, it's suspension, violation of team rules. So that's deal with him, and you know, we'll move forward from there.
Eddie?
Dane, for someone playing his first year to be as consistent as he's been for you guys, how valuable has that been at the center position?
Last year, coming in a semester, I think helped expedite that process, being a mid-year transfer, understanding our terminology, understanding our practicing against Kofi, being able to yeah, you guys are great. You guys tweet that out so fast. That's unbelievable. That's like Doug trying to take pictures of me at the high school game. I mean, like my face. But it is. It was an advantage being here, and he's really confident. He plays with no fear. So Dane's growth has been fun to see. Still got a long way to go, but he's gaining on really quick.
Jim in the way back?
Hey, Coach, I had one a little bit off topic. Tuesday, you created quite a stir in the little town of Fairbury when you showed up at a small town high school basketball game. What can you just say what your thoughts on that small town was? Was that kind of fun to go to a small town?
That was so awesome. That was awesome, and I can't talk about recruiting, but it's one thing that makes this place really special. I mean, there wasn't a seat to be had. High level game. Everybody's so proud. A gentleman I'm sitting next to is I have no idea who he was, but he was very talkative. And in the middle of the third quarter, there's a gentleman on the other side running in front of the students and the fans, and he goes, that's a preacher at one of our local churches. And I thought, it's not every day you see the preacher at the Baptist church, I think he said, getting the student body fired up. But it was a lot of fun. I really enjoy it. I really enjoy it. It's what makes basketball special. It's what I grew up with in my hometown, and pretty fun.
Tyler?
Yeah, Coach, you mentioned that you kind of turned the game into 2-on-2 in the second half. Cam Spencer, he's been by far the best offensive player. He got 1 bucket on 5 shots. Was there anything special you did for him, or was that just straight up Jaden, like you said?
I think it's what they felt comfortable with. I don't know. I don't want to speak for Steve. They did that a little bit in the at the end of their Michigan State game. They went just a lot of high ball screen. We were going to give him that. We did not want Cam to beat us, and he's a very active scorer for them. He's had some big games. I think he's 15 or 16 in their wins. I think he's 9 or under in their losses. That was a goal, but that's all a lot of credit to Jaden in the first half.
Carol?
Right, I have a guy like Darren Williams return here this weekend, and I don't know if he was able to talk to you guys, but just to have that presence around your team, what's that mean for you guys?
Yeah, a lot. First of all, yesterday was an incredibly special day. I mean, that was, my first words when I stood up there was wow. And first of all, to have a group of people that we had in that facility, and you can always say, I can always say thank you to Josh and Howard Milton and their staff, but it's very difficult. People don't realize, you find people that put their money where their mouth is and commit to something, and then you get them all in one place. And the reason I wanted this job was because of Rick Schmidt and Darren Williams and Manny Jackson and the group of former players, Deion Thomas and those people. It's elite. Those are elite people. I mean, you're talking about a 7-time NBA All-Star. Everybody in our locker room knows who he is. And then for me to, in the transfer portal world, for them to be able to see and hear, because when he was introduced, everybody heard that ovation, and to know that that's what this should be about. This should be about that, and the greatness that he is. And we talk about him a lot, and his posters, his pictures up in our locker room. We celebrate his success, and it's what makes this a great job. If you look at Manny Jackson and what he went on to do in his career, it makes yesterday very special, because it's not just the fans. And I said it on the postgame radio. That building was as good as I've seen it all year today. And our fans make it. Those fans, and supporters just happen to have some money that they decided to help our program. And we're here to win national championships. Winning's really hard, and that's my goal. And yesterday, we took a big step by that announcement, and for those guys to be here as former players that all been supportive, pretty cool, pretty cool.
How much did they flip when Coleman's able to accept the defensive responsibility of Mulcahy, and can that go forward the next couple of months where, hey, he's bothering us, let's put Coleman on him?
Yeah, it's a great, great point. Versatility is our team's strength. Okay, I mean, you think Coleman just guarded Mulcahy, and he was guarding Cliff, and he was started the game guarding McConnell, and you think what Ty Rodgers does on the same thing. You think about, you know, Matt. You think about our ability to block shots at the rim. It's not just one center blocking shots. It's a group of guys blocking. Terrence Shannon, versatility, going and blocking a shot off the backboard. That versatility is our strength. And you know, there's a reason a lot of people at the next level like Coleman Hawkins, and it's because of what he does in the defense area.
Mark and way back.
Coach, how rare is a 10-minute drought for a team like Rutgers?
Very. In this league, they got great players. That's an old basketball team. That is a veteran basketball team. I mean, they scored, what, 85 against Iowa the other night? I mean, they're down to the wire in Bloomington the other night with a chance to win the game. That basketball team is old. They're elite. They're veteran. Mulcahy knows how to score. Spencer knows how to score. Cliff's a threat at the rim. So it's unique. I thought it was as much our defense as anything else, but you got to do it every night. But it's rare because this league is really good.
But you guys got Dane, a guy who played like 9 minutes of college basketball and needed to work on his body literally a year ago. Do you ever have to step back and kind of take in as far as he's come over the course of the last year?
Yeah, I'm pretty spoiled because I try to not take Adam Fletcher for granted, and Palmer Johnson and Paul Schmidt but Fletch. I mean, Fletch just took him under his wing, and you know, it wasn't just, hey, we're going to go to the weight room and lift and we're going to run, and it was diet, and it was eating with him, and it was the things that truly he had to go through, and it wasn't easy for him. But it's also a tribute to Dane. He didn't shy away from it, and he accepted it. And you know, then he was a battering ram for Kofi, you know, in practice, and but all that pays off, and it's a process for him, and good things happen to those who work on it. Dane worked on it.
Okay. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.